Yeah, it's no longer about being a container. As I said, we're looking at a storage computer now. And as you know, as we said here, we're now offloading a lot more function into that storage system. So not only does the storage system have to scale up to meet the external demand, but internally it has to be able to do more processing. Okay, when we do this page level tiering, those pages have metadata, lookup tables. We need to be able to do that within the storage computer, as it were. And that's why we're using now general purpose Intel quad-core processors to do that. You know, we used to do replication using the computers in the front-end ports to do that. Now we can offload that into this core processor so that it can service many ports by using a pool of this compute. And then the ports, all we need now are optimized ports that only do the I/O transfer. It doesn't have to be a general purpose computer anymore. So we can make a more efficient dual core processor there without having to spend the extra money to buy a general purpose quad core processor. So those functions can be done internally while the front end and the back end ports are just doing the port processing. So it makes everything more efficient. One of our competitors, by the way, has done that. They've taken quad core processors and put them into the ports. Okay? And then they loosely couple this with others. Now, they're not taking full use of that quad-core processor. I mean, each of these nodes have these quad-core processors, but they can't share the power with other nodes. Because we do this internally, we can share the power of these quad-cores across many, many ports. And therefore, we can build a more efficient system. We can build a cheaper system that takes less power, cooling, etc. So all this sort of works together to optimize our design. But it is now, this is just the beginning. You know, he talked about the VMware APIs and how they're offloading some of the things like hardware locking. Others are going to be doing it. If you look at Semantic, they give us a test and set command. So when they delete a file, they let us know the extent that they deleted and we can recover it. If you look at Microsoft, they'll give us a sync point called VSS, where when we take a snapshot, or before we take a snapshot, they will give us a sync point in the transaction, so our copies are coordinated between the transaction, which is the software side, and the snapshot, which is the hardware side. So all of this takes more processing power. And that's why I'm talking about a storage computer rather than a storage container. Okay? And this is going to be a trend going forward, especially as we start to look at content and we start to look at information.